The city of New York employs over 300,000 people. Managing a municipal workforce of this scale is a massive logistical challenge. At this volume, municipal management relies on rigid operational mechanics. One such mechanic is the competitive civil service selection pipeline, which dictates exactly how candidates earn entry into the government. The other is the Equal Employment Opportunity Compliance Matrix, which governs internal workplace protections and the precise structure of dispute investigations. To understand municipal operations, we have to map how a candidate enters the system, the legal firewalls they pass, and the structural design of the accountability network. Misunderstanding how these two systems intersect exposes city agencies to severe legal liabilities and internal dysfunction. Operating here requires mastering these two highly specific, sequential compliance architectures. Looking at this flow matrix, a candidate's entry into municipal government is split into two tracks based on their job classification. The left track represents discretionary hiring. This is a resume and interview-driven process. The right track outlines the competitive civil service process. This is a highly regulated pipeline that requires candidates to pass an examination. There is a 9 to 12-month processing period before a ranked eligible list is established. During this window, multiple-choice exams enter a protest review period, where candidates can challenge proposed answers before a test validation board. Once initial scores are released, a strictly limited appeals window opens for candidates to contest their final score calculations. Only after these reviews are exhausted do we reach list establishment, generating a ranked priority list that agencies use to fill specific vacancies. Agencies then issue a call letter to invite top-ranked candidates for an interview. Ignoring this official invitation can result in permanent removal from the eligible list. The year-long processing delay is a deliberate, legally mandated mechanism designed to ensure meritocratic ranking and due process. Once a candidate reaches the interview phase, regardless of whether they arrived via discretionary or civil service tracks, agencies face strict legal barriers regarding what they can evaluate. This timeline illustrates the first of these barriers, the Fair Chance Act. Agencies are strictly prohibited from inquiring about criminal history or pending cases until after a conditional offer of employment is made. A second barrier is the salary history inquiry ban, which prohibits agencies from asking applicants about their prior wages to determine current compensation. Additionally, unless a specific notice of examination mandates U.S. citizenship, non-citizens are legally permitted to be hired, provided they establish work eligibility under the Immigration Reform and Control Act. By design, these laws delay the introduction of specific information, preventing bias from polluting the initial evaluation of merit. After a candidate clears the hiring pipeline, they enter a workplace governed by the city's Equal Employment Opportunity Policy. To guarantee objective internal investigations, the assigned investigator simply cannot be beholden to the agency's existing management structure. Every agency head must appoint one dedicated agency EEO officer. This chart shows the required separation between the EEO officer and the Office of the General Counsel. The General Counsel's duty is to defend the agency from legal liability. This duty inherently conflicts with the EEO objective of uncovering internal civil rights violations. A similar structural wall isolates the EEO officer from the agency personnel officer and human resources. By bypassing all intermediate management and reporting directly to the agency head, the EEO officer maintains independence. Because of this required independence, the EEO officer is also designated as the Disability Rights Coordinator, managing the cooperative dialogue for reasonable accommodations. Investigative objectivity requires organizational isolation from the agency's own legal and management defense teams. When a complaint is filed, it falls under EEO jurisdiction only if the alleged misconduct is based on a protected category, such as race, or caregiver status, or consumer credit history. This track outlines the strict administrative deadlines that begin the moment a complaint undergoes assessment. Absent extraordinary circumstances, the EEO office has a strict maximum limit of 90 days to conduct interviews and conclude the investigation. The EEO officer then submits a written report of investigation directly to the agency head. The agency head then has 30 days to review the report and officially adopt or reject its factual findings. This determination is based on a preponderance of the evidence standard, meaning it is more likely than not that a violation occurred. The EEO process formally closes here. Any subsequent discipline is handed off to a separate discipline unit or labor relations team. This rigid timeline prevents complaints from lingering indefinitely, while the handoff procedure separates the act of fact-finding from the act of punishment. We can now see how the civil service selection pipeline feeds into the broader EEO compliance framework. Maintaining this massive dual-system architecture requires central oversight. The Department of Citywide Administrative Services, operating through Citywide Equity and Inclusion, establishes the uniform procedures and standards that govern these matrices. The 9 to 12-month civil service delay ensures meritocratic selection, while the fair chance gates prevent bias during interviews. Once hired, the EEO structural firewall ensures that internal investigations remain insulated from agency management. Strict, unyielding procedural mechanics translate legal theory into an operational municipal reality.